WWE SummerSlam 2015. A pay-per-view, a summer of controversy. So to start off the review, to start off the show, we had Jon Stewart open the show, and he fires up the crowd and says he's going to interview Brock Lesnar and says he needs backup, and he brings up Mick Foley. Mick Foley comes out and he says he's afraid of Brock Lesnar and he doesn't want to go to Suplex City, and it says Jon Stewart's on his own, and then just left. To me, I thought that was a really stupid and pointless opening to the show. I mean, I think they could have done better. I didn't really laugh at all. I mean, it was cool to see Mick Foley, but to me, I thought they could have done better with that. And then after they had this stupid intro, then they had the SummerSlam video package. They should have just done this, the SummerSlam video package, and then, went from there. But instead, they decided to have this dopey intro. And then they did the SummerSlam video package, which was pretty cool. And then we had Randy Orton versus Sheamus, and Sheamus won. It was an okay match, I guess, but I wasn't really paying too much attention. I was mostly going through my Twitter feed, looking at what people were retweeting about SummerSlam, so I wasn't really paying too much attention. And, I mean, I got nothing against Randy Orton or Sheamus. I don't got anything against those two, but there's only so much that there's only so many new moves or whatever they can put into a match, and they've had so many matches that you just get kind of tired of them after a while. So, yeah. Then we had the Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way match. We had the Primetime Players versus the New Day versus Lucha Dragons versus Los Matadores, and the New Day are the new Tag Team Champions. Pretty good tag team match, even though it was kind of a little too crazy because there was all these damn tag teams. It was kind of a clusterfuck. But still a really good tag team match, and I'm glad that the New Day are the new tag team champions. To me, they're a good tag team and they're funny, and I liked their little celebration at the end. They started making these gifs or gifs, whatever you call them on Twitter, of their celebrations. It was pretty funny. So yeah. Then we had Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev. The match ended in a double countout. It was an okay match, but I didn't really care for the ending. I mean, I understand the ending. I mean, you don't want Dolph Ziggler to lose, and you don't want Rusev to lose. You want to build them both up. But I just didn't really care much for that ending. I thought it could have been better. If they have another match, which I'm sure they will, I hope we get to see like a mixed tag team match of Ziggler and Lana versus Rusev and Summer Rae. I think that would be worth watching, and maybe it would be better than this match. Then we had King Barrett and Stardust versus Stephen Amell and Neville, and Stephen Amell and Neville won. It was a pretty decent match, but I will say this, though. Stephen Amell, I don't really know him. I don't watch the Arrow show. I don't really know him, but I will say this, though. He was pretty impressive in this match. He had lots of high-flying spots, and he took a few bumps. He took some pretty hard hits, and he had like some bruises on his back or whatever from some of the high-flying moves, and so yeah, I mean, he did pretty good. I mean, he was pretty impressive for his first wrestling match, and I'll say this, he's a lot better than Eva Marie and some of those Tough Enough competitors. So if Stephen Amell ever wanted to like become a wrestler or whatever, I wouldn't doubt him. I mean, he did pretty decent for his first match, so he was pretty impressive in the match. And then we had probably the most boring match of the night. We had Ryback versus The Miz versus The Big Show for the Intercontinental Championship. Ryback retained, of course. Obviously, he was going to retain. Luckily, the match didn't last longer than like 7 minutes, 5-7 minutes. But still, I don't really care for this feud. To me, if they want to make Ryback a legit Intercontinental Champion, they should put him in feuds with the likes of Kevin Owens, Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar. I don't know. Then again, I don't really see Brock Lesnar though going for the Intercontinental Championship, but you guys get my point. They just need better competition than The Miz or The Big Show, I think. And then we had Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose won. A good tag team match. But I was kind of surprised by the ending, though, because nothing really happened at the end. I mean, Roman Reigns got tagged in by Dean Ambrose, then he did a spear and he won the match. So it was a clean... I mean, they won the match clean, and there was no heel turn by Dean Ambrose or Roman Reigns. Which was fine. I mean, it was still a good tag team match, but at the end I was kind of just like, that's it? That's all that's going to happen, I guess. So the ending, I guess I was a little, not really disappointed, but I was kind of just like, that's it? So Yeah, but again, though, good tag team match, and we'll probably see a heel turn from Roman Reigns or Dana Ambrose sometime down the road. So, yeah. And then we had Seth Rollins versus John Cena for the United States in World Heavyweight Championship, and Seth Rollins won. I was really happy about this. Congratulations to Seth Rollins. Really awesome match, and during the match, John Cena was going, I think, for the Attitude Adjustment, and then I think Seth Rollins, or it was Cena or Rollins, bumped into the ref. The referee got knocked down, and then while the referee was out, Jon Stewart came into the ring, attacked John Cena with like a steel chair, and then Seth Rollins pedigrees John Cena on the steel chair and throws the chair out of the ring. And then the referee comes back, comes to, and then he pins him 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins is your new United States and World Heavyweight Champion. I was really happy for Seth Rollins. I'm glad he won. I'm glad that John Cena did not win. I didn't really care much for that ending, though. I would have liked to see Seth Rollins win the match clean, but I understand why they did this. But it also doesn't really make sense, though, on why Jon Stewart attacked Cena, because from what I remember, Jon Stewart and Rollins, last time they were on Raw, they had like a beef or whatever, and Jon Stewart attacked Seth Rollins or something. So it doesn't really make sense to me on why Jon Stewart would attack or would be on Seth Rollins' side when those two had a beef. To me, that doesn't really make too much sense, but maybe we'll get answers to that. Maybe, I saw this fan on Twitter, maybe Jon Stewart was a Ric Flair fan and he did not want to see John Cena tie Ric Flair's record. That could be the case. So I didn't like much for that controversial ending, but again, I'm happy though for Seth Rollins. It looks like the Authority is going to have to make a statue now of Seth Rollins to put in the WWE headquarters. And I'm sure we'll see John Cena versus Seth Rollins again. We'll probably see like a rematch at Night of Champions or whatever. But just the fact that Seth Rollins won at SummerSlam against the likes of John Cena and won both championships, tonight history was made, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations to Seth Rollins, well deserved. And then we had the Diva Tag Team Elimination match. Team Bella versus versus Paige, Charlotte, and Becky versus Team Bad. And Team Bad got eliminated first by the Team Bella. To me, it was a terrible elimination. It was stupid. And then Paige, Charlotte, and Becky eliminated Team Bella and won. Pretty good Diva Tag Team Elimination match, but I wouldn't really mind seeing some single matches either. I mean, all they have is these damn tag team matches with the Divas. I mean, I don't really mind them, but to me, it should be kind of, I mean, like, I want to see, like, Nikki Bella versus versus Charlotte or versus Sasha Banks, or just mix it up a little. You don't always have to do tag team matches, is what I'm saying. Like, sometimes, like, a singles match would be good, or like a singles match and then have, like, a Diva Tag Team match. But anyway, though, pretty good Diva Tag Team Elimination match. Another thing, though, that I'm going to complain about, though, is that the Divas Championship wasn't on the line. So, they're making Nikki Bella as, like, the longest reigning champion, and yet she's not really defending it really that much. So, I don't know. And then we had the co-main event, Kevin Owens versus Cesaro. Kevin Owens won. Right choice. I mean, I got nothing wrong. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Cesaro, but Kevin Owens needed a win. He lost twice to John Cena. So he's been on kind of like a losing streak, so it was good that Kevin Owens won. It was a good back-and-forth physical match, really good match. And I will say this too, I mean, people like to make fun of Kevin Owens for his weight, calling him fat or whatever. He might be a little overweight, but the guy can wrestle, and he's pretty damn agile for his size. I mean, with all those, rolling, I can't remember what they're called. One of them's like where I think it's like the dive bomb or some weird thing where he like rolls into like a guy in like the turnbuckle or whatever, and he does all these like high flying moves. So the guy's pretty damn agile for his size. Yeah. And then we had the main event, the match that was too big for WrestleMania, as they like to say, Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. And not Brock Lesnar. The Undertaker won by Brock Lesnar passing out, so he won by tap out because. And it was a really good, it was an awesome back and forth match. It wasn't match of the night, but it was a good back and forth match. I'm glad that The Undertaker did not get a concussion in this match. I mean, because there was a few times where I was scared for The Undertaker, like when Brock Lesnar F5'd him through the table, for the announce table, and when he was taking all these suplexes and shit. And it was funny because when Brock Lesnar was suplexing him, he kept on saying, "Welcome to Suplex City, bitch," and all this stuff. And so that was pretty funny. And what I liked the most was when after they did, I can't remember what it was, like Brock Lesnar sits up and he starts laughing, then the Undertaker sits up and he starts laughing like a madman. That was hilarious. But anyway, though, so the Undertaker won because the bell keeper, the ring keeper, I don't know what the hell they're called, the timekeeper, I can't remember what their name is. They run the bell because they saw that the Undertaker tapped out when Brock Lesnar was when Brock Lesnar put him in the Kimura lock, because Brock Lesnar had him in the Kimura lock, and then you see the Undertaker like faintly tapping on the shoulder of Brock Lesnar, but the referee doesn't see it though because it's not on his side. The ringing bell guy rings the bell, then the referee's like, "Why the hell did you ring the bell?" Then while the referee's distracted, the Undertaker hits Brock Lesnar in the crotch again. He does another low blow, and then he puts Brock Lesnar in the Hell's Gate submission hold. And then this is like the best part. After he puts him in the submission hold, Brock Lesnar flips him off. He gives him the bird, and then he passes out from the submission hold because the Undertaker put it on before, and then Brock Lesnar flips him off and passes out. That was fucking hilarious. I love that when he's in Hell's Gate and Lesnar's just like, "Fuck you, Taker," and then he passes out. That was hilarious. I was like, man, that was fucking awesome. So yeah, it was pretty good revenge for Taker, even though he kind of won by controversy. So yeah, he passes out after the Hell's Gate, and then so the Undertaker won. But then after the replay, it shows that the Undertaker tapped out. So then Paul Heyman gets on the mic and says, "You all saw it now. Brock Lesnar is still the conqueror. He's still blah 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 blah. He won the match." Or yeah, he was saying by the winner by submission, Brock Lesnar. So it had a controversial ending. In the record books, it says that The Undertaker won, but it was a controversial ending. Will we see The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar for a third time at next year's WrestleMania in Dallas? Most likely it'll be in WrestleMania in Dallas, or it could be some other pay-per-view coming up. We'll find out. But again, awesome match. I liked the controversial ending in that. I loved it. I thought that was great, especially when Brock Lesnar flipped off The Undertaker. That was just hilarious. I was just like, man, that was awesome. So I liked this match. I thought it was much better than the WrestleMania 30 match. And I'm glad that The Undertaker did not get a concussion in this match. And yeah, and again, I liked the back and forth in the match, and yeah. So, all in all, guys, SummerSlam was a pretty good pay-per-view. I'm glad that the New Day are the new tag team champions, and I'm really happy and glad that Seth Rollins is the new U.S. and World Heavyweight Champion. It looks like the Authority, like I said, is going to have to make a statue of the guy or something. But I'm looking forward, though, to seeing Rollins tomorrow with the U.S. and World Heavyweight Championship belts. Even with Jon Stewart getting involved in the match. I also want to know why Jon Stewart got involved. Hopefully we'll find out answers to that tomorrow on Raw. In Brooklyn, and I gotta give WWE credit and Brooklyn for credit for selling out 3 shows in a row in 3 days straight for NXT, SummerSlam, and Raw tomorrow. But I want to know why Jon Stewart got involved. Hopefully he'll say tomorrow on Raw. And to me, Seth Rollins versus Cena was match of the night. And Kevin Owens versus Cesaro was a good co-main event match. And again, I liked the controversial ending of Taker versus Brock Lesnar. Hopefully, we'll find out tomorrow if they'll have a rematch at WrestleMania or some other pay-per-view. And like I said, their match at SummerSlam was a lot better than their match at WrestleMania 30. So all in all, guys, I thought SummerSlam was good. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 stars. 8 out of 10 stars on this review. Hope you guys liked my video. Like my video, comment on my video, guys. I will not have a review of Raw tomorrow. I will not be doing a review of Raw, but I might be doing a movie review of Mission Impossible maybe tomorrow or the next day. So look forward to that, guys. But I hope you guys liked my video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.